There was also a scare today in the nation's capital. The FBI investigating a couple of suspicious letters, one mailed to President Obama, another to a senator from Mississippi. Preliminary tests on those envelopes detected the poison ricin. Both of those were postmarked from Memphis, Tennessee on April 8th. Touching ricin may cause a rash and redness. Unlike anthrax that we may recall from right after 9/11, inhalation is not enough to make you sick. You actually have to ingest ricin for it to begin to have its fatal effects.
400 Wisconsin runners are back home from Boston after witnessing terror firsthand. We do not believe any of them were injured. Our Tom Murray is in Boston, where the situation remains intense.
Good afternoon from Boston. We are once again on Boylston Street. This is a main street through town. It has been closed to the public since those explosions happened. As we look down the street now, you can see the finish line. That's the white overhang, and you also see police officers there, and you see investigators, workers wearing those white coveralls. That area near the finish line, that's where the blasts happened during the race, ending the race. Now, this barricade has been they've been moving it closer and closer to the finish line as they complete parts of their investigation. This has become a meeting point for visitors to Boston, for people who live in this city. They come to look, they come to lay flowers, light candles. You can see the posters. As we have been here in Boston, we continue to find incredible connections from Wisconsin to this city, and we'll be sharing more of those stories tonight at 5, 6, and 10 here on today's TMJ4. For now, in Boston, Tom Murray, today's TMJ4.
All right, Tom, thanks. The terror in Boston as seen through the eyes of a Wisconsin native.
Mike Jacobs is in the newsroom with the story new on Live at 5.
Thanks, Annie and Steve. Well, she is a Marquette grad from Wind Lake, also a very familiar name in our community. Now she lives in Boston, and she tells us how this attack has changed everyday life in Boston. That's coming up on Live at 5, guys.
All right, Mike, thanks. And some breaking news now. A bill to tighten restrictions on gun sales has failed in the Senate. Senate Republicans had the backing of the rural state Democrats in voting it down. Now, the bill would have required more background checks. Another bill limiting assault rifles and high-capacity ammunition magazines looks like it will also be voted down.
Another breaking story we're following this afternoon. Authorities say the wife of a former judge has confessed to being involved in the shooting deaths of a Texas district attorney, his wife, and an assistant prosecutor. Kim Williams is charged in all 3 deaths. She's being held on $10 million bond. The investigation is also focused on her husband, Eric Williams, whom Mike McClelland and Mark Hasse successfully prosecuted for theft. The McClellands were found dead on March 30th, 2 months after Hasse was killed.
And back here at home, the weather has many concerned residents at it again, preparing for the worst as the rain comes and the river swells. Melissa McCready reports from Thiensville.
Thiensville is one of many communities providing sandbags to concerned residents, and this is why you can see the river already high, and it's only expected to get higher. Plastic and sandbags are going up outside these Thiensville businesses.
This is the lowest point when the river comes across the street.
Scott Kuhn owns the building.
We're preparing for the worst, I guess. If we have to pick them all up next week and they're dry, nobody will be happier than me.
A flood watch across southeast Wisconsin is in effect as rain is expected today through tomorrow and into Friday. This after last week's drenching caused the swollen Milwaukee River.
I'm even more worried for this one just because the river's already high.
Brittany Kuhn was on edge last week. Today, it's worse. She recently opened Little Bee's child care service and fears the river will wipe out all of her hard work.
There's really not much you can do because, you can't really stop rain. So just sandbagging everything and hoping for the best.
A village worker stopped by and offered tips to keep the water out. Scott's open to any suggestions after experiencing flooding 5 years ago.
In 2008, when the water came over the river, we had about 18 inches of water up against the side of my whole building. So all the carpeting was ruined. We had to cut the drywall out of the inside and start over.
His theory, it's better to be safe than sorry.
This time we're going to put them all the way around the whole building.
If you're interested in getting sandbags, all you need to do is pick them up at Village Hall. Reporting in Thiensville in Ozaukee County, Melissa McCready, today's TMJ4.
And the threat of severe weather for tomorrow means the statewide tornado drill tomorrow has been postponed until Thursday.
Yeah.
So Let's get over to Storm Team forecaster Jesse Ritka.
Yeah, it's because the threat for severe weather tomorrow that you don't want to kind of confuse people. You don't want to have a tornado test going off when there's the potential to hear some other sirens going off as well. I don't think our tornado threat tomorrow is that great. I think that threat is a little further to our south, but still a chance for some strong to severe storms throughout the day tomorrow. Right now, watching the rain showers taper off a little bit in Sheboygan and Ozaukee County right now, but you can see there's definitely more to come as I zoom out and look down to the south around the Rockford area. Another band of rain is going to be pushing throughout the evening hours, and still kind of a wet lens across Waukesha right now, and our tower cams are going to continue to show dreary skies and wet roads and swollen rivers. That's going to be the story tomorrow. A different story as far as our temps are concerned. A warm front moves through overnight tonight. We wake up to temps in the 50s, hit highs in the 60s tomorrow. So because we have a little bit more of that heat, we've got a bit more energy to work with. So in addition to heavy rains and downpours, could be looking at some stronger storms. More details on that coming up after this break.
All right, Jesse, thanks. See you in a few minutes. The West Allis mother who admitted to leaving her children home alone as they burned to death faced a judge this morning. Angelica Belen walked into court handcuffed and crying. She admits locking her 3 children in a bedroom alone so she could go to work. When the home caught fire, the 4- and 5-year-olds died, huddled together on the floor.
She not only leaves them unattended, but she does so in a way that basically she locks them with a deadbolt in a room like animals.
She just made the decision to be able to earn some money to provide for her children. She's the only person that was taking care of them.
Belen had court orders to not leave her children alone. Her bail set at $500,000. If convicted, she could face 75 years behind bars.
The man who police arrested for walking around Carroll University with what turned out to be a fake gun is getting a ticket. Waukesha police tell us Michael Weidman is being cited for disorderly conduct, but no other charges will be filed. The Carroll University campus and other schools were on lockdown yesterday after reports of a man with a gun. Turns out Weidman was really carrying an air rifle.
All right, we need a little bit of good news to lighten up all the other stuff we're dealing with this week. And Clay Matthews tweeted a picture a lot of people are going to like. Signing a new contract this afternoon. The caption on that photo reads, "Trivial amongst the recent tragic news, but happy to continue my career in Green Bay." No official deal has been announced, though. It's been reported he'll make about $13 million a year. We needed that today, Clay. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, a mother in the Chicago area is begging for your help.
An Amber Alert's been issued for her toddler. Details on that when we come back.
McCoy has repaired over 10,000 basements. If you have basement concerns, please give us a call.
McCoy, for 55 years, the trusted name.
Win big during the final days of the Pullman 1000.
It's our sincere goal to save you at least $300 on the exact same model as any other dealer. See Pullman, Buick GMC Cadillac in Kenosha today.
Sense the power of Pullman. This is Chuck's house. Chuck has conventional open gutters. This is Steve's house. Steve has leaf guard gutters. Squirrels love Chuck's house because his gutters are open, letting leaves, twigs, and seeds collect inside. Not Steve. His seamless leaf guard gutters have a patented one-piece design that deflects debris. When it rains, Chuck's gutters clog. He has a mess on his hands and even risks damage to his home. Steve's leaf guard gutters have the Good Housekeeping seal of approval and are guaranteed never to clog. Leaf Guard. Get it and forget it. For a free estimate and 50% off labor, call 1-800-LEAF-GUARD.
The Kobe Jack Pub Burger is a bold twist on our butter burger. We're really excited about this burger.
Kobe Jack is a mild cheese, and it has just the right amount of melt.
That is good.
I think it's a perfect fit for this burger.
Seared Midwest beef, always fresh. It's got crispy onions on it. It's got steak sauce, 4 peppercorn mayo. We top it with your Kobe Jack cheese, all served on a zesty artisan bun. It's one layer of flavor after another. Welcome to Delicious.
Hey, who here likes to party?
Welcome to the theatrical soiree that's got everyone flipping their lids.
I'm so drunk my pants are on my head.
And turning the Tupperware party upside down.
Say my name, say my name.
Join Dixie and uncover why the Today Show cheers not your grandmother's Tupperware party. Airtight for freshness.
You screw. Shut up. You're stupid.
It's none other than Dixie's Tupperware party.
May 14th through the 26th at the Marcus Center.
Time is running out to drive a new Buick Verano for only $129 per month. Race on into the Pullman 1000.
See Pullman, Buick GMC Cadillac, Highway 50 in Kenosha today.
Sense the power of Pullman.
No other comedy on TV has been showered with this much praise. Parks and Rec was named Time Magazine's top show of 2012.
Somebody wake up Milton. History is being made.
Iwo Jima. A new hour of Parks and Rec at a special time, 9/8 Central, Thursday on NBC.
Could you use a fresh pair of eyes?
This is Dr. Lecter.
I'll keep your secret.
And I'll keep yours.
All new Hannibal, Thursday at 10/9 Central here on NBC.
Some tense moments here in Beloit, where 65 people were quarantined after a suspicious envelope was delivered to a health clinic. You're looking at a live picture of that clinic, that red tent, where people are being decontaminated.
And we expected a briefing with officials in Beloit. Instead of that, we just received a news release from the city of Beloit. Let me walk you through some of the facts that we now have on what has happened here. 15 people were decontaminated on site. That includes 2 emergency responders, a 3-year-old child, and 2 pregnant women. 56 people remain in that community health facility in Beloit, not being released because they do not know what that substance is that was found in that envelope. And again, just about 10 minutes ago, according to this news release, they were going to send people into the building for the first time to take a sample of the substance in that envelope. So they're still not sure what it is. That testing will be done at a mobile lab there in Beloit.
Yeah, and our Lacey Crisp was there on scene earlier. She still is. We're going to check in with her in a bit. She had mentioned earlier that the folks that had some problems indicated that it was kind of like what happens when you cut an onion, that initial sort of wave of discomfort, itchy eyes, watery eyes. So thankfully the injuries do not appear to be very serious at this time, but of course until they can figure out what that substance is, they're taking every precaution possible.
But again, the headline in this is not over. 56 people remain quarantined in that building. They're not coming out, and authorities still do not know what the substance is in that envelope that made some people uncomfortable there this morning. We will bring you back to Beloit as we get more information.
And in other news now, police in the Chicago area have issued an Amber Alert for a 1.5-year-old boy. The child's mother says she was ambushed by a group of men and her son was taken. Little Brian Hunter was last seen wearing a blue striped long sleeve shirt, jeans, and a blue and brown Nike pair of boots. Now, police are looking for a black 2-door sports car with tinted windows.
A mixed response today at the funeral for former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Queen Elizabeth joined Prime Minister David Cameron and dignitaries from 170 countries at St. Paul's Cathedral for the service. Some protesters turned their backs on her casket as it passed. They waved anti-Thatcher signs and chanted slogans. The former Prime Minister died of a stroke April 8th at the age of 87.
And Storm Team 4 weather now. It's a wet day across southeast Wisconsin.
It's going to be a wet couple of days. Let's get a check on the forecast now from Jesse Ritka. Man, that radar behind you just looks miserable.
Yeah, it certainly was miserable in the last hour, but most of the moderate to heavy rain showers pushing out of southeastern Wisconsin momentarily. Here's a look at Viper. Now, the reason behind this brief break is we've got what's called a wake low behind this round of rain, and that's just kind of an area of low pressure that's set up behind the rain in the wake or behind it. And that just typically brings pretty strong wind gusts, topping 30, 35 miles an hour, even have some potential to see some wind gusts topping even 40 miles an hour. Now, that's just going to be very blustery conditions. You can see there's a whole lot more rain behind this storm system, and we're going to continue to watch these rain showers continue to become more widespread overnight tonight. But look at some of those wind gusts just in the past hour. 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts now in Watertown. Dodge County seeing those wind gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour. Those wind gusts are going to continue to spread east as the rain comes to an end. The winds are going to pick up a bit. Now, that's not going to last for too long. The rain, that's going to be a prolonged event. Over an inch right now already in Beaver Dam. Just for the past 24 hours, Ken and Racine checking in with 0.9 inches. Kenosha, series of thunderstorms and had some strong storms in northern Illinois. You guys got quite a bit of rain already, about 1.5 inches. Now, we are expecting more rain, especially late tonight and into early tomorrow morning, and another round of heavy rain Thursday evening. And that's just going to bring more flooding concerns. Flood watches for all of southeastern Wisconsin. Still have flood warnings for the Fox River, the Crawfish River, and the Rock River from last week's rain. So we are going to continue to watch. If you have problems last week with the rain and with the rivers, you're going to have more problems again especially on the day on Thursday. Now, breaking it down day by day, today about a half an inch, could see top an inch from these storms, but I think tonight could see another inch of rain throughout the day on Thursday. Heaviest rain in the morning, and yet again in the evening hours could almost see an additional 2 inches of rain before things finally taper off, but could be seeing 2 to 4 inches of rain from this storm system. So let's time it out. Warm front increases the moisture tonight, increases the temps overnight as well. We'll be in the 60s throughout the day, so it's not going to be as cold of a rain, but since we have the heat to work with, chances for stronger storms as this cold front swings through Tuesday or Thursday evening before the colder and more stable air returns on Friday. Looking at some drier weather by the time we get to the weekend. But for Thursday, we are under a slight risk issued by the Storm Prediction Center. That means any chance for a stronger storm to fire up could bring some large hail damaging wind and, of course, some heavy downpours. For tonight, though, temps increasing, so we will keep the temps mild, but heavy rain certainly possible late tonight and into early tomorrow morning. Then I think we catch a bit of a break midday. 67, though, for our high. It will be a warmer and breezy day with rain showers likely in the morning and then again in the evening as that cold front starts to swing through. Just be on weather alert throughout the day tomorrow, and again, that's why the state has kind of canceled that statewide drill for the tornado warning tomorrow. Expect that to be on Friday when we've got the colder air returning. Drier, though, for the weekend. That's all I've got. Just the week. It falls on the weekend, though.
Okay.
Right. Thanks, Jesse.
Silver lining somewhere.
Time now for Ask the Expert. April, National Stress Awareness Month. Great timing. Stress is a daily occurrence. It's important to keep it in check.
Yeah, little stress can get you motivated, but constant stress can actually make you sick. Joining us this afternoon, registered dietitian Lori Meyer. So we've had a very stressful week. This has not been good for anybody. How bad is this for us?
The timing probably couldn't be better. Stress can be really bad, especially if it's ongoing. If you just have constant stress, it's really going to start changing your body chemicals. It changes your hormone levels, increases cortisol, increases inflammation. This is going to affect the immune system. And we're seeing a lot of research that many diseases are now being tied to stress. And in fact, we're finding, you'll get that abdominal obesity, so they're finding an increase in obesity. But stress can also, if it's prolonged, really encourage or lead to depression. We're also seeing that it shrinks the brain. Which of course isn't going to be good for any of us. Right. It increases the risk for heart attack and stroke. It's fueling cancer cells. And in fact, there's research that shows that if you're under stress and you're undergoing chemotherapy, it actually makes the chemotherapy less effective. And then it shortens the telomeres. And this is the biggest research now in aging. So it's really going to make you age a lot faster.
And this is a reaction that kind of goes back to our caveman roots. I mean, if we were stressed when we were cavemen, it's because we don't have food to eat, so our body would store fat, right?
That's exactly right. But when we were cavemen, we could always escape to the cave, and then you could rest for a week if you needed to. Now we have this just constant, and that's why it's really affecting our health.
So what can we do food-wise to help us out?
Well, first of all, there are some things that we don't want to do, and we want to really reduce these things. They're called pseudo-stressors because they actually exhibit a stress response in the body. Caffeine, we know it can keep us alert, but too much caffeine actually causes more stress, causes more anxiety. Sugar initially is going to increase serotonin, but too much sugar, again, it's going to actually make you more stressed out and cause that anxiety. Trans fat block carbohydrates. We're going to see in a minute how important carbohydrates are, so that your body can't even utilize them. We also know that the processed foods are going to be more stressful as well. So these are all things that we want to try to eliminate or avoid, especially if you're under a lot of stress.
And
so that brings us to the things we want to eat. You reach for comfort foods, but one of the best comfort foods that you can take is oatmeal. Oatmeal is a complex carbohydrate. It's going to help your brain use that serotonin, but don't watch for how much sugar that you're going to put on that oatmeal. Sweet potatoes can satisfy that sweet tooth. Again, it's a carbohydrate, a lot of antioxidants, good de-stressor. You were eating some of the blueberries. Blueberries, one of the highest antioxidant fruits. Vitamin C also lowers the stress chemicals. Any green vegetable is going to be good. They have a lot of B vitamins. B vitamins are called the anti-stress vitamin. We see salmon. Salmon comes up all the time. Fish, omega-3s. Omega-3 really good for the brain, helps your brain cope with depression and anxiety. Turkey has the tryptophan. We hear about tryptophan at Thanksgiving.
Put you to sleep.
Yeah, tryptophan helps your body produce more serotonin, calms you down. And a little bit, I have just little pieces of chocolate. A little chocolate can actually be anti-stress. It has this chemical phenylethylamine. Too much chocolate, however, actually could stress you out. So you want to be careful.
2 pieces of chocolate there, Annie. One for each.
One chips. You can't stop at just one.
Lori, thanks. Got a question for the experts? Email them. Ask the Expert, today's TMJ4.com. We'll be back after a break.